A free speech showdown is brewing on yet another college campus. A Christian art graduate is suing Southern Illinois University Edwardsville for slapping her with a no-contact order after multiple students complained about her conservative comments on social media. One of those posts, for example, praised the Kyle Rittenhouse acquittal, saying this: "Justice and truth prevailed, praying for protection over those jurors." Another post criticized the January 6th insurrection and said this: "Stop, we are better than this. We cannot destroy this country like BLM riots." And this one on abortion, saying, "Knowledge leads to life. I encourage every person to understand the actual procedure of killing a baby in the womb." Well, joining us now with an update on her lawsuit is the now graduate Maggie DeJong and her attorney Tyson Langhofer from Alliance Defending Freedom. Thank you both for being here with us. So, Maggie, tell us what happened here, because I just read some of those posts. They don't seem egregious. Did your school give you an opportunity to defend yourself? I mean, what did they tell you? What policy did you violate?
Well, first of all, thank you for having us on. I was finishing up my third and final year of this program for my graduate degree for art therapy counseling. And I entered this program with the mindset that this is a university, so diversity of thought is welcome. And, I engaged in classroom discussions in which we discussed contentious issues such as race relations and religion and the postmodern theoretical framework. And so I was shocked when I did receive 3 no-contact orders that were essentially restraining orders. I mean, these prevented me from having direct and indirect communication with these students on and off campus. And initially, we didn't know why I was given these orders. It took about 30 days, and we found out that it was because of my religious and conservative views. But what's concerning about this is that universities can ban students from having communication with other students or fully participating in the classroom environment simply for expressing their views.
So these no contact orders, did people feel threatened by you? What were they saying? Why did they issue these to you?
That's a good question. What was the main thing was that they deemed my views as harmful because of, they were my religious and conservative views. They viewed them as harmful.
Wow. So Tyson, talk to me about these no contact orders for people who aren't familiar with them. What do they entail exactly? I mean, when you've seen these in the past?
Well, these orders prohibited Maggie from any communication whatsoever with 3 students that are in her program. And it's important to understand this is a very small program. There's only like 10 students in each class, and that prohibited her from talking with them indirectly or directly without permission from the school. And if she violated this, they could suspend or expel her. So it's essentially a restraining order. And there was no due process. They didn't tell her what she did wrong. And then when we found out actually what they complained about, it was just protected speech on important topics that all students were talking about. So, universities, public universities, they can't ban students from talking with other students or fully participating in classes simply because other students disagree with their views. It's not only contrary to the First Amendment, but it's really contrary to the purpose of a university, which is to be a marketplace of ideas.
So Maggie, how has this affected you personally? I mean, you're trying to get a degree, you're trying to just engage in some kind of discussion, and now you get slapped with these no contacts, feel like you can't talk to your classmates. How has it affected you personally? And now you're out of school, so has it affected your career in any way?
That's a good question. Within the program, it affected me in different ways. It affected me emotionally, it affected me physically and mentally, but also academically, because I had fear of, fully engaging in my classroom discussions, and I had to be very wary on where I went on campus. And but emotionally, this was hard. This was painful to experience, and it was hard to focus. I struggled with lack of sleep. I lost weight, and so this really impacted me in different ways.
So Tyson, not a lot of time left, but where does this lawsuit stand right now? What are you guys hoping to get from it?
Well, we just filed the lawsuit, so the university has not responded. But what our goal is that this never happens to any other student, and that the university is forced to change their policy so they can never again tell a student that they don't have the right to fully participate simply because other students disagree with their views. So the goal is not only to vindicate Maggie's rights, but to protect all students' rights so that this doesn't happen again.
How often is this happening, Tyson? How often are you seeing cases like this from college students?
Well, unfortunately, this is becoming more common. We actually have another lawsuit in Idaho in a very similar situation where students were issued no contact orders simply for expressing their religious views. Wow. And schools are saying this is required by Title IX. That's just not true.
Unbelievable. Maggie, thank you for sharing your story with our viewers tonight. Tyson, thank you for being here as well. We'll have to keep a close eye on it. Please keep us posted on any updates. We'll look forward to hearing about those.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. And when we asked for a statement from the university, they told us that they're not commenting on pending litigation.